through conversion and remanufacturing, has been able to successfully serve the United States Army years after its production has ceased. Both the conversion and the programmed aircraft restoration programs will be discussed, as will the incorporation of engineering changes and fatigue life extension. It is also an overview of the Army's Mohawk Depot, which is the Grumman facility at Stuart, Florida.
Today's United States Army Mohawk, battle-proven and combat-ready, provides the Army Corps commander with a close-up view of hostile buildups, maneuvers, and operations, and does it at standoff distances day or night, and in any weather. In its side-looking airborne radar, or SLAR configuration, the OV-1 Mohawk operates beyond the range of enemy tactical air defenses and provides both fixed and moving target information such as missile sites and vehicular traffic, for considerable distances inside enemy-held areas. Regular patrolling is maintained to preclude surprise buildup and attack without overflying hostile positions. In its infrared configuration, the OV-1 Mohawk denies guerrillas their favorite advantage, the cloak of darkness. The IR sensors readily detect heat emitters such as cooking fires and vehicle engines. In addition, all OV-1 Mohawks carry both vertical and forward-looking cameras. Another version of the Mohawk, the RV-1, is dedicated to the Critical Electronic Intelligence, or ELINT function. Reconnaissance sensors pinpoint specific electronic countermeasures and other enemy radar facilities by location, type, and the emission bands of electromagnetic emitters. The Mohawk can do more than stand off and watch. In a low-intensity or permissive environment, it can penetrate enemy-held territory at a minimum altitude and pop up to a somewhat higher sensor operating altitude, make its assigned run, and return to the cover of low altitude. Speed, agility, and quiet operation due to its free turbine engine and low propeller speed provide an extra margin of safety against exposure to ground fire. The Mohawk has served ably in Europe, Alaska, and Southeast Asia, and continues reconnaissance flights in Germany and Korea. It is today's unique surveillance aircraft for today's United States Army missions, and there is nothing available to take its place, now or in the immediate future. Both the OV-1 and RV-1 are equipped with data links to provide the ground commander with real-time data and imagery while the aircraft is still airborne, saving time between data collection and its usage when time is critical. The first Grumman production Mohawk was delivered in 1960. During the 10-year production run, Grumman delivered 380 Mohawks. The first production Mohawk, the OV-1A as it was designated, was a battlefield photo observation aircraft with an 11,000-pound gross takeoff weight. On board, surveillance equipment consisted of a single fuselage-mounted KA-30 camera, remotely controlled for both vertical and oblique still picture photography. Its bug-looking cockpit design greatly enhanced its visual observation capabilities by allowing the crew's line of sight to converge just 35 feet below the aircraft. Martin Baker ejection seats enhanced crew survivability. The next generation of OV-1 aircraft, designed from inception to grow, the OV-1B, saw the Mohawk's wingspan stretch 6 feet in order to provide the extra lift needed to remain a STOL aircraft and to carry a unique 18-foot-long fiberglass pod suspended from the right side of the fuselage. This side-looking airborne radar, called SLAR, provided a new dimension for the Army's airborne surveillance mission. The OV-1C was the third Mohawk to enter United States Army service. While more power was provided, the most important feature of the C was the installation of an infrared sensor in the fuselage. Teams of Bs and Cs demonstrated the growing usefulness of SLAR and infrared imagery. Other variants of the versatile and rugged aircraft included one configured with skis for snow operations and several versions of armed Mohawks tested for counterinsurgency missions, some seeing service in armed reconnaissance during the early stages of the Vietnam conflict. Now, more than a decade after the last plane rolled off the line, the Mohawk OV-1s and RV-1s are even more effective for today's missions. The United States Army's only fixed-wing depot-level overhaul, repair, and conversion facility is located in Stuart, Florida, and operated by the Grumman Aerospace Corporation. It is here that Mohawks that have been stored begin the conversion and repairs that bring them to mission-ready status with the latest product improvements added.
The aircraft we receive here for conversion are line hauled in by truck from the Military Aircraft Storage and Disposition Center in Davis-Monthan, Arizona, where some of these planes have been stored for up to 10 years. After remanufacture and conversion, the aircraft are delivered virtually new, mission-ready, with the latest configuration, avionic, airframe, survivability, and sensor systems on board.
We start with the airframe, removing the wings and tail sections from those aircraft that are flown in, strip off the paint, and inspect everything, every structural member, every rivet. Repairs that have been made in the field are removed and the structure behind them inspected. Crash damage is also identified and marked for repair. All flight and systems instruments are removed. If they do not conform to the latest configuration, they are replaced. The same thing is done with the other onboard equipment. It is pulled out for test, repair, or replacement. For conversion aircraft, all the wiring is removed and replaced with new harnesses, nearly all made on site. All hydraulic lines are removed. Structural components receive special attention. Wing fitting bushings are checked. If they are out of round, it can mean the airframe may have been overstressed. In this case, oversized bushings will be installed to correct the problem. Other critical structures are the front main beam upper cap strip members that tie the wings together through the fuselage. All are inspected for fatigue cracks in the fastener holes. Any found are removed and replaced with interference fit fasteners, greatly improving fatigue life. The landing gear is removed for rework or replacement. Fuel cells are removed and stored. When they are reinstalled, a new exterior fire suppression foam system is used. The nose cap is removed and modified for the forward-looking KA-60C camera system and survivability equipment antennas. Engines are removed and, if necessary, replaced with the latest configuration. Hot end inspections, inlet foreign object damage repair, and turbine blade replacement are done on site on an as-required basis. Provision is made for the installation of speed brakes, which will be manufactured on site. On OV-1 aircraft, additional access openings are cut into the fuselage for the installation of the new cameras and the equipment that will make this aircraft fully convertible in less than an hour for either the IR or SLAR missions. Newly fabricated nacelles for improved IR suppression are part of aircraft survivability enhancement. Wing access panels are removed. The wing is inspected, and any required repairs are made. Meanwhile, in the avionics shop, all electronic system components are bench tested before installation in the aircraft. Part of the avionics shop has been cleaned off to permit shielded operation of several electronic components. All new wiring will be installed in the conversion aircraft. All these harnesses are fabricated on site at Stuart and bench tested for continuity before installation. All new or refurbished equipment is installed, although some equipment will be installed by the Army at the user site. These systems will be installed, slave tested, and removed prior to aircraft departure. Updated flight instruments are installed. When this aircraft departs Stuart, it will be fully configured to conform with the modification work orders. Removed hydraulic components, each bench-tested separately, will be reinstalled as a system. When all aircraft wiring has been installed, the aircraft systems are fully checked out with automatic circuit analysis equipment to ensure that all the separate systems will work together. Engine mounts that have been removed are inspected, magnafluxed, and rewired with new sensors and equipment. Vibration isolators are overhauled with new rubber products, thereby saving the existing forgings. The engines that will be installed have been modified by the government to the L701A configuration, producing 1,450 equivalent shaft horsepower each to power an aircraft that now has a takeoff gross weight of over 18,300 pounds. When installed on refurbished mounts and fitted with the 10-foot Hamilton standard propellers, the engines become a quick engine change package. Whether the conversion is to OV1 or the RV1, dedicated to the critical electronic intelligence function, new de-icer boots and hoses are installed, as are the uprated Martin Baker Mark J5D ejection seats, designed to eject the crew at 0 altitude and at speeds as slow as 60 knots. New paint from nose cap to tail fin, and the conversion is complete. Whether the conversion has been to an OV1 or to an RV1, it stands on the flight line as a virtually new aircraft. New hydraulics, new speed brakes, all new wiring, and updated systems installed. It is ready for testing, and it is tested as thoroughly as any new aircraft. Normally, 4 flights are made by company pilots, followed by 2 or more acceptance flights by the customer's pilots, until every system is successfully operated. The remanufactured Mohawks are ferried from the depot to the customer's user organization by the pilots or the gaining unit. A two-way exchange of data between the operational pilots and depot personnel helps the unit solve operational problems and helps the depot improve the product. Everything in these Mohawks has been made new. The only thing that remains unchanged is the tail number. Aircraft that arrive at Stewart for the United States Army's programmed aircraft restoration program are flown in from the user's organization. These are active duty aircraft in constant use and have been in service for over 12 years. Our task with these aircraft will be less extensive than the conversion aircraft, but no less exacting and equally cost-effective. The process begins in the paint stripping shop and continues with engine removal. The next task is the pre-shop inspection, where each repair and required update is carefully identified. Note is made of all the modification work orders that are required to bring each aircraft to the latest configuration. Existing equipment is removed to make room for new, but in the programmed aircraft restoration program, frequently referred to as PAR, not all the wiring or all the hydraulic lines are removed. Some modification work orders are concerned with fatigue life enhancement. These cap fittings will strengthen the airframe by a factor of 10. This program also increases the service life of each aircraft, making them available for continued use through the 1990s. Both PAR and conversion aircraft move down the floor just as if they were being manufactured for the first time. As befits an Army depot-level maintenance facility, Stewart is able to fabricate the parts required for both conversion and PAR aircraft. Lathes turn out parts to match the precision of their originals. Detailed parts can be formed, degreased, iodine treated, and painted, all under the watchful eye of quality control.
Bottom line is that those tanks have been flowing back and forth for overseas deployments in that same condition with that.
Providing close customer liaison on site is the Defense Contracts Administration Service called DCAS, a division of the Defense Logistics Agency. These administrators, engineers, quality control personnel, and acceptance pilots ensure that each remanufactured aircraft conforms to the United States Army's high standards of performance and reliability. A proposed service life extension program called SLEP could extend the service hours of the airframe from the current 7,000 hours to between 10 and 15,000 hours. This program is currently under active consideration, as there is no other aircraft in existence or on the drawing board that can perform the Army's surveillance mission the way Mohawk does. Stewart maintains a staff of over 30 Mohawk dedicated engineering persons with over 900 man-years of Mohawk experience in design and development. One recent task was the systems integration of the M130 flare and chaff dispenser. Integration, engineering, development of a flight test program, and the actual flight testing itself were accomplished totally in-house at Stewart. From an aircraft that arrived from storage or from the field to a remanufactured OV-1 or RV-1, completely updated. Rugged, versatile, cost-effective. The remanufactured Mohawk, serving the United States Army for years to come.